So I've had several people reach out to me with very similar questions. What is Notes from Vietnam? What do I get when I sign up for Notes from Vietnam? Is it a one-on-one session? Is it a live course? Do I get vendor contacts when I sign up for Notes from Vietnam? Today, we're going to demystify every single thing. I'm going to answer most of your questions regarding Notes from Vietnam. And I'm going to take you inside the course on a tour in the course from Module 1 all the way to Module 4. And then you're going to realize how Notes from Vietnam is going to transform your hair business. Whether you're a beginner or you have been in the hair business like me, or you are trying to scale, you're trying to look for real vendors or trying to understand the hair business even more, Notes from Vietnam, honestly, is perfect. It's incredible. And you're going to find out in this video. Let's go. My name is Blessing Ngozi Onkwe. I'm the founder and CEO of Glam & Inches Luxury Hair, a hair company founded in Ghana. And now we have Glam & Inches EU, Glam & Inches Wholesale, and so on. So I've been in the business for over 7 years. I'll say that 70 or 60% of the hair I sell comes from Vietnam, but it wasn't until last year that I visited Vietnam, and that visit was a game changer. I learned so much. I visited over 16 factories. I spent hours at each of them. I asked incredible questions, and I learned deep secrets about the hair industry in Vietnam. I condensed everything into a course. I know how important it is to get the answers and the knowledge that you seek, especially when you're investing so much money, time, and effort in a business. And I lost a lot of money before going to Vietnam because I had relied on some vendors that had sent me initially good hair and then later very, very bad batches of hair. And I didn't know until later when my customers complained. So going to Vietnam was a game changer. So this course is everything I learned, and I hold nothing back. I gave everything. Yes, everything I learned, and I'm going to take you through. So let's find out what exactly is in Module 1 of Notes from Vietnam. Let me go to the site and take you through a tour of Notes from Vietnam. So this is the TBD site, the Business of Your Dreams website. So you just go here to the search bar and search for Notes from Vietnam. You see, this is just a brief description about the course, showing you exactly what you're going to learn and what makes this course unique. So now let me show you a deep dive into the modules of Notes from Vietnam. First, we have the introduction, which is just showing you why this course is made for you, the hair entrepreneur. Then we have Module 1. In Module 1, I talk about the introduction to the hair business. So Module 1 is all about preparation. Preparation is really important because I feel like there's a lot of knowledge you need to know before you actually contact vendors. You need to know so much. You need to know the hair terminologies. You need to know how to actually spot real hair. You need to even know why, out of all the Asian countries, Vietnam is such a big deal when it comes to hair. You really need to understand a lot of things before you actually go directly into contacting your vendors. So when I was making this course, I thought of just putting out the vendors or the notes from the vendors, but I realized that would not be really helpful, especially for hair entrepreneurs out there who are looking for more information about the business that they are spending so much money, time, and effort in. So Module 1 talks about preparation. In the introduction to Module 1, I have a brief history about hair extensions, what or where exactly hair extensions came from synthetic all the way to Vietnamese hair, what actually makes Vietnamese hair important. And then I show you how to research and find suppliers for your business. Even now, I'm still using this method to find new suppliers for my business because I feel like the research never stops. Next, I go on to how to build a professional relationship with your suppliers. One thing I learned going to Vietnam was that The vendors are also human beings. Of course, we knew that they were human beings, but they are not always in business mode. Sometimes they just want to chat. Like I met one vendor who was heavily pregnant, and when she gave birth, she sent me pictures of her baby. She just wanted to feel like it's not just about business. Sometimes, like once you buy from them, you become part of their family, and then you can actually develop a professional relationship with them. So this is going to show you in depth how to do this. And then the next video in module 1, these are red flags and mistakes to avoid when sourcing hair. So I actually use a case study over here of a green flag of a vendor I reached out to, and then a red flag of a vendor that I reached out to, and how I was able to navigate and realize the mistakes and avoid them. So that is all for module 1, the preparation phase of Notes from Vietnam. Now, module 2 talks about understanding hair quality. You think you understand hair quality, but you don't, because the Vietnamese way of understanding hair quality is different from what we understand. The Vietnamese people, because of the language barrier, most of them are using translators. Most of them are using Google Translate in order to understand the English that we speak. Sometimes you may describe raw hair a certain way, but that is not how your vendor would describe it. I didn't know I was buying non-Remy hair for years until I went to Vietnam and asked my vendor face to face, this hair you were giving me, what hair was it? And then she explained to me that it was non-Remy hair. So it's very important to go through module 2. Module 2 talks about hair industry terminologies and how hair is graded in Vietnam. It's very important to really understand this. And then visual differences among hair grades in Vietnam. What is baby thin? What is raw hair? What is single donor? What do they mean? Are all curly textures steamed or they come that way? How do I know the difference? You would understand everything here in module 2 because I have the hair texture side by side, and then I show you visual differences among the hair grades. How to test hair bundles for quality, tangling, and shedding. So over here, I go in depth because the vendors in Vietnam, some of them taught me certain tricks to identify how to test for some of your bundles. So this is very in-depth. And over here too, in module 2, I show you what kind of hair you should order as your first sample when you are dealing with hair vendors. What should be your first sample order? How do you know if this vendor is good at this hair or not? Now, let's move to module 3. So module 3 is where the sauce is. Module 3 has all my factory visits in Vietnam. So as you can see, module 3 is really loaded. I think it took me over almost 2 months to finish filming and editing module 3. It was a lot. So module 3, first I visited my longtime supplier. Then I visited a factory which had high quality raw materials but some issues. So you definitely need to know. I visited a factory with a wide product range, but they had frizzy and HD lace issues. I visited a factory which was really good in European hair. I visited a factory with amazing bone straights by dry, curly, and wavy hair. So many factories. A factory with high quality processing, but their prices were really high. So many. So you can see I visited all these factories. And in these videos, first of all, I take you through the factory visits. I take you through the tour of the factory. Every note I took, all the questions I asked, the answers I got. And then at the end of every video, I have another video attached where I analyze the samples that I bought from every single factory. So module 3 is really packed, really, really packed. And then module 4, from sourcing to sales. So module 4 is going to show you what or how you can use all the knowledge you have learned up here to grow your business. So you've sourced good hair, and so what? How do you use this to grow your business? So first, I show you the vendor pricing breakdown and comparison. So each vendor and their prices side by side. I also add a price list to each vendor in module 3 as well. And I show you here which vendor is good side by side. Some vendors have really high prices for the same thing. So you need to know which one you're going to buy from. And then I also show you how to choose the right factories for different hair types. Because as usual, I always say you should source from multiple factories at a time because every factory has strengths and weaknesses. So I show you which factory from module 3 is good with HD lace, which factory is good with curly hair, based on what I saw in the samples I bought. And then in module 4 again, I show you how to price your hair for profit. So over here, I actually show you my or Glam in Inches master cost price list and how I calculate profits for my business. And I also show you another way where you can use your gross profit, your expenses, in order to price your hair properly and grow your business. And then finally, we have the marketing and branding of your hair business. So after knowing all this, how do you brand your business? How do you relaunch it? If you want to do a relaunch, how do you launch your business? How do you actually sell and stand out in a space where there's so much noise? And then we have the conclusion. So Notes from Vietnam is going to be launched on 24th of July. But even before we launched it, we had some beta testers. As you can see, there are 10 people who were testing Notes from Vietnam and helping me to make it the best course out there. And some of them were able to watch all this over and over because they found this really, really helpful. Like when you really want something to work, you have to make sure you invest in it, especially invest in knowledge. If I had had this course 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I don't think I would have lost as much money as I did. And I think my hair business now would have been much higher than where it is now. Because 2 years ago, one of my long-time suppliers sent me bad batches of hair consistently. And I didn't realize it until later because I didn't know so much about hair. There's a lot I didn't know. And initially, her first batches were perfect, close to perfect. So I didn't see anything wrong or I didn't feel the need to check or test the other batches she sent me. But after I have gone to Vietnam now, if I had this course, I'm very sure I would have avoided all those mistakes I made, honestly. So in Notes from Vietnam, I included real factory footage. I even interviewed some of the factory owners and I included everything. And I don't hold anything back. I've said this. I don't hold anything back in Notes from Vietnam. And after you join the course, you'll be added to a WhatsApp group so you can ask any questions. You receive guidance as well. And you also get lifetime access to the course. So here is a testimonial from one of our beta testers, and she's also in my mentorship group, and she's going to tell you exactly how the course has impacted her business.
Hi, I'm Moina, the founder of Fine Choices, and I heard about the Notes from Vietnam course during one of my mentorship sessions with Blessing. So I think this course is very good for people who are already in the hair business, even if you think you know a lot already. And I think it will be very beneficial to people who are now planning to start a hair business because of the details included in this course. She teaches you how to research and find suppliers for your business step by step with a video illustration. And one thing I particularly like about this course is that she's not just telling you what she experienced, she's showing you videos and then she's explaining alongside the videos. Another important thing is that this course is also beneficial to people who cater to the Caucasian market because Blessing visited factories that cater to the Caucasian market. And guys, this course even has a sample order list. You learn how to test the quality of the hair you bought and the right way to communicate with suppliers. The icing on the cake for me is module 4, where Blessing talks about branding and pricing. She even went as far as explaining which vendor is best for which texture and included a pricing strategy. So you're not just getting information about factories in Vietnam, you're also getting a business masterclass. I would recommend this course especially to people who are now entering the hair industry because the knowledge in this course is worth more than the price, trust me. Bye.
So you've heard from Mawena, a beta tester of nose from Vietnam. These are some other reviews from other beta testers, and everybody loved the course. Everybody found the course game-changing and business transforming. Nose from Vietnam is launching on 24th of July. The pre-launch price is 2,000 cedis or $195. The post-launch price is 3,000 cedis. So choose your investment. Are you going to pay before or after 24th July? So make sure you stick and stay. And of course, make sure you subscribe, you like this video, you share it. And yes, I can't wait to see you in Notes from Vietnam. Bye.